Longest streak of 10-plus points in NBA history. This started on January 6, 2007, and it ends on December 4th, 2025. 1,297 straight games. But LeBron gets 8 tonight. Let's not forget 11 assists and the game-winning assist. 4 for 17, did not get to the free throw line. 0 for 5 from 3, but the win. And here's LeBron in Toronto with Mike Trudell.
All right, LeBron, asked JJ if there was kind of some element to the basketball gods there in those final seconds, you know, streak and all that, but you got a better pass. Rui's open in the corner. He ends up hitting the shot. Can you just take us through that sequence and how it results?
Just playing the game the right way. You always make the right play. That's just been my MO. That's how I was taught the game. I've done that my whole career. There's not even 1 second guessing that. Once they doubled AR and the ball got swung to me, I know it's a numbers game. We got a 4-on-3 advantage, and I was just trying to put the ball on time on target and right in Rui's socket in his shot pocket, and he knocked it down.
So you get the stop on the other end, no timeout, but Rui said in the walk-off that you communicated to him at some point. I don't know if you said, hey, I'm going to get you or get you the ball, or you get to it. What did you communicate? How did you do it in that amount of time with no timeout, no stop?
To put him in a payoff spot, you know, I looked over at their bench, and obviously we didn't want to call timeout. We had a good flow. You know, AR been cooking all night, and, you know, I started seeing our coach kind of, you know, telling, you know, Scotty Barnes to possibly double. So I wanted to keep Rui on the same side to be my payoff spot.
Obviously it paid off big time with the Rui 3. I know that's not been much time since the game ended, but now that the streak has ended for you, what feelings did you have, if any, about it ended?
None. We won.
The general kind of offensive flow for you in the game when it came to getting your shot and stuff like that, how did it feel out there? A couple of the early misses were pretty uncharacteristically. I mean,
yeah. I'm still getting in a rhythm. This is my sixth game. Like I said, it's obviously well documented. I've never missed a whole training camp and a whole preseason before, and then let alone miss the first 14 games of the regular. So I'm still, you know, figuring my rhythm, figuring out, you know, everything as far as offensively. You know, knowing I can still make an impact on the floor when I'm out there, but, you know, still trying to fill it out.
You know, you're 2-0 in the last 2 games. You haven't scored 10 points. Yeah.
I won't make that a habit, though. But, like, listen, man, you guys know, the guys have been around me for 8 years. This is my 8th year here. I've been covering my career. You know, I'll just make the right play. That's all that matters. Win, lose, or draw. You make the right play. The game guys will always giving back to me, no matter if it was a win or loss or whatever. That's just how I was raised, and that's how I always play the game.
JJ was saying that he remembers, like, earlier in the career when you would get criticized, right, for making that pass instead of taking the shot. And I guess that collectively basketball has advanced some. You probably won't get a lot of critique for making that pass, but have you seen that evolution of it, and can you kind of remember back to those times and just sticking with what you know about this is the way you play basketball?
Yeah, of course I remember. I remember everything that's been negatively said about me in my game throughout my career. And it was always, that aspect was always like one of the most foolish things I've ever heard, as far as making the right pass, making the right play. We are in the business of winning basketball games, and so, excuse me, my whole life I've just played the game that way. I've taught the game that way. And I've won at every single level I've played at by playing the game that way. So there was no reason for me to ever change. Once I got to this level, it doesn't change. Basketball is basketball.
I saw you before the game embrace Brandon. I was just curious if how you feel about him kind of finally, you know, settling into a spot here and playing as well as he's been playing.
B.I.'s unbelievable talent. You know, I had him my first year in LA, obviously, and he was a young stud then. But, you know, as much, you know, seasoned vet now, super mature now. His game is mature. He's gotten better and better, and I love to see him thrive. All the guys that I played with, especially my first year, I love seeing, you know, him, you know, Caruso, you know, Zoe, you know, Josh Hart. I mean, Zubek, like all the guys. You know, just to name a few of them. You know, these guys are. It's great to see them play the game the right way, and they've been balling. You know.
You've talked about this before. The fans in Toronto, you've talked about this before, but it sounded like half the stadium was cheering for you.
They're amazing. I love it. I love it. I don't know how many games I have left here in this building, but these fans are unbelievable. This city is unbelievable. Always welcome me with open arms. Either if I was coming here to play a basketball game or just coming here to visit. I've always loved and appreciate the fans' support here, man. They're one of a kind for sure.
You've obviously been a supporter of Austin, but even for you, has it surprised you at all that he's been able to carry like this usage and to produce this way and be this efficient at this usage, or is it kind of what you expected of him?
It's not surprising me. I've seen it since day one when we got him. I saw the talent, and when talent meets hard work and preparation, then I don't think there's any stopping, an individual that puts the work in. Once you have the talent, we're in the NBA, everyone has talent, but in order to be consistent, you got to put the work in, and he's done that. So I'm not surprised. I'm super happy for him. Appreciate it. Yep.
LBJ giving high praise right there to Austin Reeves about the talent and the preparation that comes with it when you put in the hard work, and that opportunity has been there for AR, and he's taken advantage of it. But let's talk about LeBron quickly before we go to the highlights. Listen, he's well aware of that streak, and now you can put it to bed and start something new. But I loved what he said about being in the business of winning basketball games. And from the moment he stepped on the court, as an 18-year-old, he's been making the right play. And he did it again, James, in the biggest...
When LeBron came into the league, I thought it was like Magic Johnson. I thought he was assist first, score second guy. And he just makes the right decision, Gita. There's no selfishness in his game, because that play, he could have tried to force the issue and get a foul or maybe get a shot. But he said, when they double team Austin, this is how he thinks. This is how the great ones think. They double team Austin's, I knew we had numbers. I knew we had 4-on-3. I just had to find it. He made his man commit, tossed it over to Rui, and that was the right move. And that's what the great ones do. They win.
And he saw Dark Coat. They talked to Scotty Barnes about doubling, and he kept Rui on his side.
Yeah, I mean, they see what Austin could do. He's had game winners against teams in the past. He's only been in the league
ready
for a
to do
couple
it
years.
again. Yeah.
We're not letting him beat us. So we're gonna get the ball out of his hands, make somebody else beat us. They send Scotty. Bron, he knows the game before it's happening. What's happening? His IQ is always gonna be there. Whether his body is or his shot is not gonna be there, his IQ is always gonna be there. And time again, I can't reiterate it enough. He always makes the right pass, the right play, right pass at the end of games, regardless of what the time and score is or who people think he should shoot it every time. He does not care. Again, I've been on the receiving end of it. Carmelo, Rui, there's a bunch of guys, teammates that he's passed to. Kevin Love, Kyrie. He's not afraid to make the right play and get the criticism for not taking the last shot.
By the way, quick injury update. I did hit my left knee jumping out of my seat on the win. Knee contusion. I am playing tomorrow.
Okay.
Probable? No, not probable,
okay.
but looking like I'm going to play. All right, let's get you to it's feeling much better. Let's get you to the highlight. Really struggle those.